Shelby, and I'm the project coordinator.
I'm Brooklyn. I'm the creative marketing coordinator.
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm the business growth coordinator.
I am Christy. I'm the finance and administrative coordinator.
The Development Corporation is important because they understand the importance of focusing on growth. Every county, especially rural counties, need to understand that without growth, your county will die.
I think the EDC is very important for Bowman County because it is a catalyst for so many things in the community.
You have to have a group of people that are championing for economic development and growth. You have to have those people that are going to be the cheerleaders that are going to go out and put projects forward to grow your community and grow your economy.
The Development Corporation is important for our area because it provides assistance with interest buy-downs, access to various programs such as the facade grants, storefront grants.
A movie comes to my mind about that, and it's called It's a Wonderful Life. And it showed him what life was like if he wasn't around. And I did that with the corporation. And a lot of things, you just look at it through town. If we didn't have a corporation like it is, there would be a lot of things that aren't there.
One of the most important assets of the Development Corporation is the funding programs. The funding program that we use probably the most is the Baker, North Dakota Flex-Based program, buying loans down to 1% in the majority of the cases. So I feel that's probably been our most successful business recruitment and retention tool. The facade program is important to improve the exterior appearance of the building in the downtown corridor. This upcoming year, I intend to focus it on both the Highway 12 and 85 corridors. One of the upcoming programs I see us utilizing a lot is the workforce retention program that we implemented this last year. We have the city and county have both tied dollars to that program in the efforts of retaining and recruiting workforce, which is a major problem in all areas of the country right now.
Right, with workforce being probably the largest challenge that our businesses are facing, we felt it was really important to take a look at a program that would directly impact that and help with that need specifically. T4 is Tools, Tech, Torque, and Trade, and it was a new program for Bowman County this year. And it was a way to bring career education, especially in the trade industries, to area youth. And we were really excited to partner with Bowman County School on this program.
An event coming to southwest part of the state, to our community of Bowman, provides a real life, real world experience for our kids. So many times we drive by buildings, but we never really understand what happens in the buildings. Bring in the people who work in those career fields to provide a hands-on experience to these kids. We had over 900 students from 11 school districts attend that day. A school district is only as successful as its community, and I really believe the same on the community aspect too. The partnerships that we need to develop and build are so important for our kids.
I would anticipate more collaborations with our K-12 school districts going forward, just as we focus more on career education and bringing up our future workforce and really showing them what career opportunities are available right here in our region. Business retention and expansion was a key objective that was identified in our strategic plan. We will continue our one-on-one business visits, but we will start meeting with industry groups to identify specific ways that we can help in each of those industries, whether it's education, workforce development, or any other areas that they identify for us. We're really excited about getting those leaders together in those industries to see what they have to say and how we can assist.
It is an in-depth visitation to this local business and a strong bridge of communication between the EDC office and the businesses in town.
Right, I agree. I think it's been a great way for us to build relationships with our business community, and that is something our board has found very important as they've come along on these visits and heard what they have to say, whether it's challenges, ways that these businesses want to grow, or areas that we can help assist them. Business retention and expansion goes beyond just the visits. It's also focusing on childcare and how that impacts our workforce. It's working with K-12 education and developing our future workforce. It's programs like the new ARPA funds that will be coming out of the state and how we can implement those into workforce programs for our community and for our businesses. It's multifaceted, and so we look forward to meeting with those industries and saying, here's what we have available, how can we make this work for you?
MAINSPACE opened in 2019, giving our businesses a place to hold trainings and get educational classes for their workforce. Over the last couple of years, the importance of technology has grown in the business sectors. So having a space with high-end technology that is available for our businesses to use has become a huge advantage for our business community. We developed a corporate supporter membership to give our businesses discounts on classes, among other benefits. Many supporters join because they believe in the mission of bringing education to the region.
I think that MAINSPACE, whether you're taking a class there or you're using it for a meeting, is just a bonus for Bowman. What I liked best about the classes I've taken two is I don't have to travel. And when I took my current position, my accounting was there, but maybe rusty. It was nice to have that reaffirming that I'm on the right track. Transit has used MAINSPACE for a past training. Our employees from Hettinger came over, Bowman Scranton came over. It was just nice. The girls are accommodating and it's a nice venue.
MAINSPACE has come a long ways in the last 3 years. People of the community, Southwest North Dakota especially, use it. You can hardly ever find a day that it is not being used or full for the whole day. With the technologies in there for Zooming and having meetings and having your whole board present. And another thing I think is very influential in the community is the University of Mary putting on all of the classes that they do so a person can go in and better themselves for their business. When they better their education, that means they will be more successful at the business they're running.
We wanted to bring a conference to the region that benefited our businesses, benefited our workforce, and really made a difference. Fusion 2021's theme was the culture movement. Its main focus area became workforce and how to build a culture that attracts new employees but also strengthens your current employees. Going forward, Fusion will continue to focus on workforce development for our region.
The Fusion Conference and what it can do for our local area, it's showing that there's possibilities to bring new ideas, new things into these communities that maybe in the past we've just thought it's the same old. Change happens in big cities, it happens in the areas that are booming. So it's just really impressive when you bring all those different outside ideas, different views in, different people. We brought 17 people from all over our region, from Williston, from Stanley, and then the rest were from kind of this corner to the conference. Varied everywhere from location managers, parts and service managers, as well as regional management. And so it was a great opportunity. Instead of just bringing the managers in, I think everyone could really benefit. It really puffed us up from Bowman when the guys from Williston, from Stanley, from our regional perspective came in and they're like, all this is in Bowman. How did you do this? Is it a company that you hired to bring this in? I mean, they couldn't believe that the Bowman area and your guys' offices and staff went through all that to get that set up. The quality speakers from all over the country and Canada, I mean, you don't find that without going to a metro area for a conference. So anyone that attends it kind of starts the momentum and starts the thought process of, well, what could we take from that and put into place here? You could just look across the crowd and see everyone light up, just the enthusiasm, the anticipation. What hit home, I guess, for me was probably when we're in such a labor shortage and things like that, there's a lot of good people out there, but sometimes you have to find them and find their fit for your company. Anybody that hasn't attended, if you can't take one day out of your work and go and try and do something to get one thing to do better or to change, we're kind of kidding ourselves. There's always opportunity to get better and grow. I think anybody in any position can gain from it.
Fusion is important to Southwest North Dakota because it proves that we're capable of doing the same things that the larger markets are. We have the talent, we have the resources, we have the capacity to put on a great event that other markets are jealous of having. Regardless if you're a boss or you're an employee or you're just a community member, you leave very inspired.
The Community Challenge gives a voice to the creative thinkers and community makers. Our second year at the Bowman County Community Challenge awarded $10,000 to the Southwest Shooting Club to create a shooting range just outside of Bowman. The Community Challenge has already proven successful in its past projects and we're excited to see what it does in the future. Here's a little bit more about the shooting range from the Shooting Club members.
We were trying to figure out a need in the county, and when we looked at the grant, we thought that would be a way to get the funding we need to start something, and surveyed the community and see if other people are interested, and there was a lot of interest. A gun range is obviously a need. I think the most exciting thing about the shooting range is the community excitement. You know, when we brought this out to a public meeting, we had almost 100 people show up. We had one large donation from an individual, and we had the community challenge money. And between those two, we were able to put the money we needed together to buy the land. And in order to get the other grants that we applied for, we had to own the land.
Be able to purchase that land with the community grant and the donation we received, it sealed the deal right there. It guaranteed that we could continue forward.
We've got a club formed, Parks and Rec is on board helping out, and everything's moving pretty smoothly. Currently we have a 600-yard range operational with 2 benches. We have a 200-yard range with 8 benches, and we have a place to set a building in place. That's all operational right now. The overhang's just about up. And probably in the spring, we're hoping for another grant that will take care of building the building and then taking care of the trap shooting area. We already have all the equipment to run the trap shooting. We just need to build the bunkers and then build the stations where you can stand. The archery range is the natural archery range, so people can set their targets however they'd like.
For Bowman County community and the surrounding communities, we don't currently have a shooting range. This filled that spot, as well as allowing us to run some youth programs. And then we've spoken with Bowman County schools, looking into allowing us to run a high school trap team. And then we are involving the 4-H youth with their shooting sports programs.
So right now we have a yearly membership, or we have a lifetime membership, and then if you want to just do a daily fee, but you can get the key at the Rousey Rec Center.
We'd like you to come join.
Yeah.
Please come join us. It's going to be an amazing place.
In its second year, the Main Street Garden saw a lot of change. The garden moved just 2 lots south of the original location. This year, we were awarded a $10,000 AARP Community Challenge Grant to make improvements to the Main Street Garden. This will allow us to do groundwork, including grass and pavers, as well as shade and extra seating. Festival of Lights has become a community staple for the holiday season. This year was our 4th year in which we saw our largest attendance the night of the lighting ceremony to enjoy the beautifully lit park. We had over 30 organizations participate and were able to add new additions such as the lighted archway and the ice rink filled with all of the lights up.
My favorite part of Festival of Lights is definitely when they count down and boom, everything comes on all at once. This is my 4th year. I've been since the start of it. Me and my family look forward to every year. What makes Festival Lights so special to me is definitely how the whole community comes together, and you can really see it. It's something out of a movie. Super cool that we have an ice skating rink this year too, and just a really good feeling when you're there. Definitely bring the kids along.
Artists on Main Street was a program funded through the Department of Commerce. It allowed for us to hold a workshop with local artists and then fund their programs and projects to create a more vibrant Main Street. It started off with a creative placemaking workshop in which we saw 22 artists come together to share ideas, tour our downtown, and figure out ways to create vibrancy and increase foot traffic. Through Artists on Main Street, we were able to fund 5 local artists to bring their idea and art project alive on Bowman's Main Street. Throughout this year, we've already seen 2 fully completed and a couple more that will be completed in 2022. Here's a look at some of those artists today.
My name is Marie Snavely. Right now, basically, I paint in acrylic. I started being an artist probably 5 minutes after I was born. I think I always had that urge to paint, to make, to do. If you want me to give you a timeline, I painted my very first painting of horses when I was 17 years old. It was highly realistic. I was too poor to even have artist material, so I painted it on insulation board and I used house paint. There's an urge in all human beings, and everybody likes to make something. We live in a physical world, and because we're in this physical world, we want to manipulate the elements of that world. Now, some people build cars and they're making something. Some people design lamps and they're making something. So this creative urge comes out in lots of different ways, because once people are given permission to be creative, they will do remarkable things. The Artist in Main program is an interesting concept. I think that Bowman's Main Street has wonderful potential. And I do believe that if people tell you that it doesn't matter how it looks, they're lying to you. I think sometimes people don't even know that they are hungry for beauty, but I know that beauty is really important. You have 6 seconds to make an impression. That's all you have. And someone coming into our town is either going to be impressed or look the other way. So what can we do to catch those people? I'll tell you why I decided that I wanted to do the Badlands painting. They're going to build this multi-million-dollar library in Medora. I've always thought that Bowman could be the place between the Black Hills and Medora. And I've always thought that we should stop the tourists here as the gateway to the Badlands, the gateway to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And I think that our whole town could have lots of influences about the Badlands. And I thought that painting a mural on the side of the library would be excellent because you could see it from Main Street. People always ask me this: how long did it take you to paint that painting or that painting or that painting? And my answer is always the same. It took 50 years for me to get to this point. Since I'm retired, I don't believe that anybody should work more than 4 hours a day. So, so I'm thinking that I will start in the morning. I'm thinking I will put in about 4 hours. I don't work very quickly. I'm going to start when the weather warms up. I'm going to work in just regular house paint. I don't require it, but if they want to watch me, they certainly are welcome.
My name is Sarah Snavely, and I have been an artist since 1997. I make artwork of animals out of ceramics, so it's out of clay. I have a degree in printmaking, not in ceramics at all. I fire everything in a kiln. I work in my backyard. I started my art practice in 1997. So my brother told me, there's this thing, it's called the internet, and you're gonna want to figure out how to use it. You need to get a domain name and you need to get a website so that people can buy your work all over the world. I snuck into the NDSU Computer Lab and bought myself a domain name. Dogart.com, that was me. And got on an email list called the Greyhound L. And I started saying, like, I make this Greyhound work and I make this work. And people were like, I love Greyhounds. I will buy your work. But I learned pretty quickly what I was capable selling and the things that I needed to just make for myself. My favorite thing about creating is to see the thing that it just exists in my imagination. I want to make things that I don't normally see in everyday life. Artist on Main Street program. Favorite part is just sharing the work. When I made these little bison, and I probably made 400 of them, I'm sure, the original intent of them was to hide them and to have people find them. And that influenced how they were made and their shape. I kind of wanted them to look like little rocks or little natural elements. And that Artist on Main Street program, I have had that idea that I was gonna hide these guys for years and years and years. And the beautiful thing about the Artist on Main Street program is that that was the reason to do it. Like, there was no more waiting, it had to be done. Plus, I loved the excitement. I like sharing the work. I like how community members found that work, got excited about it, had a good time on Main Street, and hopefully they looked at Main Street in a little different way. I think that we know intrinsically that Main Streets are the heart of a town. I was surprised at the number of people who participated from all sorts of age ranges. People were so excited about it. You know, that's what I thought was so much fun.
In 2021, the Small Business Development Center saw more clients than they ever have across the state. With the increase of numbers of these businesses accessing SBDC, it is also evident that they are investing in our communities, in our state, that things are changing, but that's okay. Businesses and entrepreneurs that access the SBDC are able to get services that are tailored to what their needs are in order to continue to grow or start their business. Whether that's financial planning, marketing, assistance in just general startup paperwork. The Bowman County Development Corporation is fortunate to be able to hold a contract with the Small Business Development Center. Because of the relationship with the SBDC and the BCDC, we are able to provide seamless services to our businesses and entrepreneurs. Our regional center serves primarily 3 counties, Adams, Bowman, and Slope. But through the CARES Act funding we've received, we also are serving an 8-county region and bringing resources to those businesses as well. This year, we are excited to feature the many different businesses that the SBDC has worked with, South Main Lanes and Pawsitive Canine Care.
My name is Josh Buckman, and I am the owner of South Main Lanes. I am super passionate about bowling. When I was a kid, I remember going to the bowling alley all the time. As I grew up, I was actually on a league with my mom and my dad. When I first looked into buying the bowling alley, the SBDC was very beneficial in helping me with financial projections, writing of a business plan, and then acquiring the funding. I was really motivated to buy the bowling alley in Bowman because I saw a need for the community to help give a place for kids to be, groups, families to come and have fun, hang out, eat, have a drink, and grow together as a family and a community. More times than not, we're full. We have a waiting list. It's exciting to see all the people that come. So I've been very blessed since I bought the bowling alley. I have a core group that has been helping me. We tore the place apart right after we bought it and did a bunch of remodeling in the first couple days so that we could host an event the first week. Some of the changes that we have made in the bowling alley is we've removed a wall or 2. We brought in a bar local to the area. It used to be the original bowling lane in Reeder. We've opened up seating a little more. We have 2 ladies leagues. We have one on a Tuesday night. Thursday afternoons we also have a ladies league. We have men's night on Wednesday night. We just started a mixed doubles league every other Friday night. It's pretty amazing to see.
I am Gracie Ruggles and I'm the owner of Pawsitive Canine Care. Pawsitive Canine Care is a pet sitting, dog training, dog agility, and dog grooming business. I started it September 22nd of 2019. When I was in 8th grade. And I started it because when I was like 6 years old, I went to the state fair and I was watching a dog trainer with his agility dogs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. And I started like watching them in slow motion, figured out how they got them to jump up or how they got them to jump through their arms or something. And then when I was 12, I went to a campsite with an agility course and I took my brand new puppy out and we went through it, and then the next week I bought some, and then the next year I started my business. We've always had 3 dogs at a time, and then I was like, okay, now we need this one. And then my little sister's like, now I need one, so now we're a 5-dog family. It was mostly just because I knew that I could do it. I'd go over to my friend's house and their dog would greet me before anyone else, and I just like felt so good about it. But then like once I started getting more into it and I like did things with the owners too, now that's more what drives me to do it, because watching the owner with their dog makes me a lot happier than me with their dog, just because I can see their connection with their dog grow like how mine has grown with my dogs. I've learned my money management a lot. I've learned how to manage my time and like scheduling, how important it is and how far in advance you need to schedule things. It's just like helped me in my planning. The SBDC helped me in my business journey with securing a loan. And I had no idea where to start, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna ask what the next step should be, and they helped me with a business plan and then did my financials, so then I looked pretty professional with all that stuff and just helped me take the right steps. The loan allowed me to buy a dog grooming station. I started with only pet sitting, and then I went into basic training and like tricks and obedience training. And then from there, the next summer, I went to dog agility. And then 6 months ago, I started dog grooming. At first, it was very overwhelming, but now the more that I do, the more that I take every little moment that I'm doing it, really enjoy it. When I graduate high school, I'm hopefully gonna go to Fargo to become a vet tech, and then I'll move back here and hopefully work at the vet part-time. I'll have my business just because I want to do the things I love. As a youth entrepreneur, I've run into a few challenges, like people not believing that I can do what I'm able to do because of my age. I've never had someone not come back.
In 2021, the Economic Development Corporation started the strategic plan process, and this year, more than plans in the past, really involved a lot of community buy-in and community input.
The process involved community surveys, leadership surveys, student surveys. We felt like getting the input from all of those different sectors of our community was really important. Our planner also put together focus groups that brought in people that really drilled down on the questions that had been asked in the surveys and those answers, really to try to form more of what our community was wanting. Throughout the planning process, we actually saw significant focus placed on community vibrancy, workforce, both in development and recruitment, as well as a huge focus placed on supporting new and existing businesses in our county. The Development Corporation will serve as a catalyst between the community, the city officials, and the county leadership in making sure that as we move forward over the next 5 years, that the strategies that were developed in that plan are carried out.
It's critically important to have buy-in from both city and county leadership, as well as other community leaders. It's a very crucial tool to help guide growth and development in Bowman County. This has to be a unified vision moving forward.
For 2022, I'm really excited about some new programs that we're rolling out, including a workforce development program.
I think 2022 is going to be a great year for some growth. I think the business community learned a lot the last year or two with thinking outside the box and things that they can do for their businesses to grow or expand or alternate ways to help people. And I think we might see some of that come to fruition in 2022.
The one thing I'm most excited about is watching the strategic planning vision roll out. It provides us an opportunity to dream. I think good, strong decisions will come.
To us, rural means limitless possibilities,
big ideas and even bigger impact,
strength, and a community that is family.
We love Bowman County.